Shalom, my name is Michael Decker and I'm a lawyer within the law offices of Cohen, Decker, Pex and Brosh. In the framework of our dealings with Portuguese citizenship for Sephardic Jews, we wanted to address in this video the most frequent questions that we receive in this regard, and we hope that they will answer most of the questions of our viewers. So first of all, what are the advantages of obtaining Portuguese citizenship? So I think the main advantage is Europe. Portugal is part of the European Union, and Europe is a very good continent to live in. The countries are very developed. There is very low unemployment. The average salary is much higher than in most countries, and it is a good passport to hold. You can travel freely within Europe, and you can travel to most countries in the world, including the United States, where you don't need to ask for a visa in advance. Who is eligible for Portuguese citizenship? Basically, anyone that can prove that he is a Sephardic Jew is eligible for Portuguese citizenship. That's the simple answer. And how do you then check if you are a Sephardic Jew? And how do you examine this? So our office has experts, internal experts that understand much about this issue and this topic. But basically, anyone that can prove that he's a descendant of the expulsions from Spain and Portugal in the year 1492, when the Alhambra decree was ordered by King Ferdinand and the Queen Isabella, and anyone that can prove that he's a descendant from that expulsion is a Sephardic Jew. And basically there are countries where the communities migrated to where it's almost exclusively exclusive proof that you are a descendant, such as Morocco, for example. And there are other countries where you will need to bring additional proof, maybe like a surname and so on and so forth, such as Iraq, for example. So how long does this process take? On average, the process takes between a year to 2 years. Every case is a bit different, but on average, it's between 1 to 2 years. Can you handle this process without a lawyer? So first of all, the simple answer is yes. Like any legal issue, you can try to advance it without a lawyer. However, the essential answer is, of course, not, because it's not wise not to consult with an expert that has been dealing with this for a long time and deals with the relevant authority, deals with the Jewish community, and has learned how to perfect the process in order to do it faster and in a much better way. So naturally, you should definitely hire a lawyer for this process. What about a spouse and children? Due to various changes that were made in the policies, today a spouse is entitled to Portuguese citizenship, and also the children of the person that has proved descendancy to the Portuguese, to the Sephardic Jewish community that was expelled from Spain and Portugal. What is the cost for the process? First of all, it is required to pay a certain fee, levy, to the Jewish community in Portugal in order to receive a recommendation of entitlement. This is due to the work that is done by the community to determine and decipher whether you are indeed a descendant. For the anchor of the application, a fee of 500 euros is required, and for any additional family member, such as a child or a brother or a sibling and a parent, is 250 euros. So the anchor needs to pay 500 euros, and additional family member 250 euros. Regarding the legal fees for the process, you can contact private offices and inquire to the amount of fees each firm charges. So how do you begin? You can click on the link below and leave your details, and we'll be happy to investigate whether you are eligible or not eligible for the Portuguese passport. If you have any additional questions that were not answered in this video, you can also feel free to ask them. And you can also feel free to check all our articles on the website, which we invested a lot in, and learn a lot more about this process and about how one can prove his eligibility for Portuguese citizenship. Thank you very much for your time and for watching.